What is happening, my people? This is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show, and today I'm going to talk to you about sales prospecting for business to business sales and business development. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how great you are as a salesperson. It doesn't matter how great your sales team is. It doesn't matter if your product is the best thing since sliced bread. If you do not have a flood or a flow of new prospective buyers coming into your sales process, you're not going to be able to grow. And in this video, I'm going to show you not only how to get highly targeted meetings with high value prospects, but I'm also going to talk to you about how do you get bulk appointments. So if it's your entire sales team that you need to fill up those calendars, how do you do that? And the reality is, it's actually easier than you think. So why should you watch to the end? Well, first of all, we're not some employee that went off and is now doing YouTube or Facebook and we're selling courses to try to make money. We actually run an agency. We build sales teams. We're getting thousands of bookings every month for our clients, making them millions of dollars, training the sales teams, training their teams. How do you get the leads? How do you get them warmed up? All of that. So we're doing real ground level stuff that actually works. So I want you to bypass all of the BS that's out there, all of the garbage that's out there that people are just trying to sell a course to make money on, and they don't really care about the results you're getting. I want you to get incredible results, and you're going to see why in this video, why I want you to get very, very rich. So the big question is, what is sales prospecting and how does it fit into the entire sales process or the process of a company as a whole? Well, to understand that, let's first say that a prospect is a prospective buyer. It's somebody that is potentially a buyer for you. So when we think of growing a company, you're gonna hear me teach this in multiple videos. We think of three things. We think of flow. This is gonna be a flow of prospective buyers. People that are interested and they wanna talk to you about your service. So we're gonna have a flow. It's a little light there. We're gonna have a flow. This is of people that are interested in what you offer. The second thing you have to create an exceptional company is you have to have conversion. You have to convert. You have to be able to convert those prospective buyers. And then finally, you have to be able to retain, and I'll add to this, and upsell. You need to be able to get a flow of potential customers coming in. You need systems in place to convert those potential customers, and you need a system to keep those potential customers, the converted customers, and sell them more and more and more because they get so much value from what you offer. So this is what prospecting is. It's finding potential buyers. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the most important part of this process? Flow, conversion, or retention? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the number one most important thing you can get in your business for your team, whether you're an individual salesperson, you're an individual entrepreneur, or you have an entire sales team you're managing, or you have an entire company you're running, the number one priority for your company should be flow, getting prospective buyers coming in large quantities to your business. Because without flow, it's very hard to convert. It's very hard to optimize your conversion systems. And without conversion, you don't have clients to retain. So when you are focused on retention, that's great. Retention's very, very critical. If you can't keep your customers, nothing else matters. But if you aren't getting a flow of new customers, you cannot refine your product. So the retention part is not the most important part. Flow is the most important part of your business, because once you've converted these prospects into buyers, they will tell you what they like and what they don't like about your company, and they will keep buying. In fact, I'm gonna go into a little bit more depth on this. When we're looking at retaining them, we're not just saying, oh, we're keeping them. We want to give them so much value that they keep buying more and more products from us. So let's look at it like this. With flow, you're not reliant on those one or two big deals that you hope will close, that you've been working. You know, if one of those falls through, it's not gonna crush your spirit. Another part, if you lose a client, Even the best of the best of the best of the best companies are going to lose clients. Now, obviously, retention is incredibly important, but you're going to lose a client. And if you've ever lost a client and that hurt you financially or hurt your company, set you guys back, that is because you do not have enough flow of new potential prospects coming into your system to make up for that. You have to know customer loss will happen even with the best of companies. And the number one thing you can do to mitigate that is to have flow coming in so that it does not hurt or cripple you. So flow plus conversion plus retention is what exceptional companies do. If you only have one or two of these, you will never become an exceptional company. You will never become an exceptional sales rep if you only have, I have a great close rate. Good. How many people have you talked to this week? One. How many did you convert? 100%. Okay, so you have 100% close rate, but you only closed one client this week or this month. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got a 20% close rate and I closed two clients this week and I closed 10 clients this month because I have more flow coming in. Okay, so now you got the flow. I've got more customers coming in than you do. Big deal, right? If I can't keep them, what does it matter if I keep getting new customers? So you need all of these. If you can get the flow, conversion, and retain, you as a sales rep are gonna make exceptional money. You as a business owner can make exceptional money. You as a business can make incredible money. And this is what the most exceptional companies are built on. How do we increase flow? Well, there's really two things we have to look at. First off is customer persona. There's this little thing called customer persona. And if you're a business to business company, meaning you're targeting other businesses, we're professionals. We're looking at things like what's the industry that they're in, what's the title that they hold. Are they an owner? Are they CEO? Are they CMO? Are they a creative director? We have company size, whether that be number of employees or level of revenue. We have to create these criterias. Where most people go wrong on this is they try to create a persona outside of the platforms, like the old school, like most marketing books you read, most marketing gurus that talk to you about creating the customer avatar or creating the ideal customer profile, like these old school like ways of creating, we create an ideal customer profile, an ICP, we create the customer avatar, and they create that outside of the parameters of what we're living in this digital age, and they try to force it into the platform, which is completely backwards. It's like they're using these old school marketing techniques and trying to force it on new school marketing platforms. What you need to do is you need to go, what do the platforms offer me? What can I target on Google? What can I target on Facebook? What can I target on LinkedIn? LinkedIn for business to business is gonna be your best. Yes, even after the May 2021 change, LinkedIn frickin' works incredible. So you have to figure out what those specific targets parameters are. Then you create your persona based off of that. The second thing that people do wrong is they actually limit their personas to just one. So when we look at Pima, you've probably seen me go over this if you watch some of my other videos. Stick with me because I'm gonna apply this to how you can actually do sales prospecting. So we have one persona. Persona one, they might be making under 10K, under 10K. I have a product that I could sell them that's gonna bring them to persona 2. That persona 2, they're generally making 20 to 50, 50 plus. So they're still not doing $1 million a year, but they're starting to do pretty good. I have a product that I can sell persona 2 that will bring them to persona 3, where they're doing, 85 to say 500K, right? That's my persona 3. Then I have a product that can bring them to a persona 4, which is somebody that's doing, around a persona 4, somebody that's doing around $1 million a year, give or take. And then a persona 5 is somebody doing multi-millions a month. These are all monthly numbers. These are all monthly numbers. These are all monthly numbers. I might have said here, these are all monthly numbers. So what most people do wrong is they isolate one. I can help people right here. And so they're doing all of this outreach, all this targeting, and if they meet persona 1, persona 2, persona 3, persona 5, They go, I can't help you. And they throw those prospects away. They ruin those. And so they make a mistake on that because they're gonna have to do a lot of outreach just to get to that one persona. The other mistake that they make is, look, I have a product for persona 1 that I can sell them, have good margins on, and that will actually bring them to persona 2, which means I made money on them as persona 1. I gave them value, so I brought them, so then now they're actually doing 20 to 50K a month. Now I can sell them a product at persona 2 that helps them get to persona 3. So I made money on persona 1 I made money when they're on persona 2. I make money when they're on persona 3. I can keep bringing them all the way up to a persona 5. So not only when I'm doing outreach can I offer something to each one of these categories, I can bring them through the personas and make money as a part of the whole journey while giving them insane value. I mean, who wouldn't keep spending more money if they were brought from 10 to 40K and 40K to 200K, from 200K to $1 million, from $1 million to multi-millions a month? Who would not keep spending money? So you have to think about, who do I serve specifically, and what are the different journeys that they go through, and what are the products that I can offer throughout that. Now, you might not have all that inventory, but you at least want to start with 2 personas and 2 inventories, if not 3 personas with 3 inventories. I hope that is helpful on how to create your personas, because this is the way that it works in the digital age. And we have to make sure that we're not using old school marketing and sales tactics like probably 95% of the gurus you will listen to are still teaching, because that's what was in their marketing book. But you start using what's actually working in these days and what highly successful companies are doing versus what marketing classes are teaching. Very, very different. Okay, so next, there's one more step before we start doing the reach out, and that is we have to answer a few questions. You see, most people will go and throw out a message, hey, we help our customers get this and then blah, 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 blah. They're very decent, or we do this, we help with this, we help with this, our team, we've been in business for 10 years. And that's not what is even on that person's mind. What we have to do is we have to enter the conversation already happening in our prospect's head. How do we do that? Well, we definitely don't do it with,
hey, I'm with Ritter and Morgul, and we help small businesses that are looking to get funding with blank, blank, blank. We have a 100% track record and our customers satisfied.
That conversation is not happening in your prospect's head. We have to, with our messaging, enter into the conversation already happening in your prospect's head. So how do we do that? Well, we have to answer a few questions, and we have to answer them accurately. We cannot make these artificial. We cannot force these answers. So get your pen out, get your paper out, and write these 3 questions down. Number 1, what is the thing that is keeping them up at night, staring at the ceiling, like ideas racing through their head, stress? Have you ever had one of those nights where it's just like you cannot go to sleep? You wake up and you're wide awake just thinking about the million things on your mind. What are those things that they are thinking about? That is a very important emotional, what is keeping them up at night? Question number 2 you have to answer for each persona is, what are their top 3 daily frustrations? What are the 3 things that they're most frustrated about? You know, is it the employees that they're managing? Is it their boss? What are the top 3 daily frustrations they're dealing with? And number 3, this is very important, what are they mad about and who are they mad at? For instance, a lot of people that, well, smaller companies, not bigger companies. If I talk to a smaller company or a newer business, they've maybe tried a cheap marketing company. Duh, they don't work. But so they're mad that marketing companies don't work, that marketing companies make big promises, that lead gen companies make big promises and they don't fulfill. So big surprise, cheap marketing and lead gen companies generally do not deliver on that, but they're generally going to be mad about that. They're going to see the whole industry. They're going to be blaming these lead gen and marketing companies for them failing, and they're going to be mad at them. They're going to be angry at them. So I want to understand who my prospect, what they're mad about. They're mad about not being able to get customers in the whole lead gen industry. They're mad at that last lead gen or that marketing agency they hired. So figure out who they're mad at, what they're mad about, and who they're mad at. That's number 3. But why do we want to answer these questions? Simple. This is the conversation already happening in their head. On top of that, not to get too much in the neurology behind how your brain works, but your brain actually processes emotion in the amygdala, in this little peanut-sized part of your brain, before it goes to your neocortex, which is your logic. So your brain, your visual, your auditory, it's going to process information emotionally, and then that amygdala is going to be the first thing that you respond to. And secondly, it's going to then go to the logic centers. So people buy based off of emotion and they justify based off of logic. That's because the way that your brain works. It's a scientific fact. So we want to be entering the emotional conversation already happening in our prospect's head. That's why these 3 questions are so important. So now that you have your 1, 2, or 3, or maybe even 5 personas, now that you've answered those 3 questions for each one, so you have the emotionally charged, you're able to enter the conversation happening in their head. How do you start that conversation? Well, if you've seen any of my teachings before, you know we really have 2 core strategies. One is going to be bulk, where maybe you're trying to fill up your entire sales team's calendar full of meetings. It doesn't have to be the highest quality meetings, but you need to get those calendars full so that they're busy and they're closing deals. That's one strategy. It's going to be more of the bulk strategy. I call it kind of the machine gun strategy. The other strategy is going to be very targeted. This is going to be if you're that individual salesperson and you're looking to go after the very high value deals. Maybe you're going after a $50,000 a month deal or a $5 million a month deal versus a $5,000 a month deal or a $2,000 a month deal. This is going to be the sniper rifle strategy where we're being very, very targeted, and that's not going to get you bulk, but it's going to get you higher quality meetings. When do you use the bulk and when do you use the targeted? Well, if you're trying, again, to fill up your entire sales teams, you need to have a system in place that is filling your sales team's calendars with meetings. Now, the actual sales rep, if you are a sales rep, if you are a solo business owner, you're probably going to want to do the targeted on that. So maybe your company already gives you a bunch of meetings, but you want to get some high quality, high value targeted. I would do the sniper rifle because that's going to make your effort more effective. So if you're landing $50,000 a month clients or $1 million a month clients, that's going to pay you out a lot more than if you're going after little deals. So let's go into this. Of course, targeted outreach is much less scalable. Like there's just only so much targeted outreach you can do at scale. So oftentimes you're going to start with one, but you're eventually going to need both. You're going to need your team doing both. So whatever your situation is, whether you need bulk or you need targeted, start with one, but realize you're eventually going to need both as you move through the different customer journey. Like we see our clients go through different customer journeys. If they start here, I'm going to teach them how do you sniper rifle. And I'm going to build those systems out for my client. How do you sniper rifle? That's going to bring them to the point where they're making, sometimes they jump from persona 1 to persona 3 because they're landing such big deals. Sometimes you can jump from persona 1 into persona 3 because you're doing the right targeted outreach. But you have to understand, once you get to a certain point, you're actually going to need both. Like once you get into a persona 3, persona 4, persona 5, you have to have both. Okay, so I do have a more in-depth teaching on YouTube on how to do the bulk versus the sniper, but I'm gonna give you an overview here. And generally you're gonna wanna start thinking with the sniper rifle because that's gonna be the most complex strategy that you can then strip a few things away from and apply that to bulk. So when I'm thinking about doing a sniper rifle, where I'm going to find my prospective clients, prospective buyers, I like to use the word buyers because I want them to buy, right? Is we can do stuff like Crunchbase. We can do stuff like Angel.co. We can use things like Sales Navigator. I can find prospective buyers on YouTube, influencers on YouTube, influencers on Instagram. We can go to Google. There's a lot of places you can find the prospective buyer. But once you find them, how do you reach out to them? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a Loom.com. You're gonna go to Loom.com. That allows you to record like a 60-second video. It could be a video like this, or it can be a screen share video, however you wanna do. And I'm gonna go to Google News. I'm gonna go to Google News. I'm gonna look up recent information about them, whether it's a LinkedIn post, an Instagram post, something, a blog that they wrote, something in the newspaper, the most recent thing that they wrote or that they were a part of. And I'm gonna create a 60-second Loom that's, hey John, what's going on, man? I just saw that you had an article written on you in the Miami Herald about your company growing 10 times this last year. Man, that's incredible. Congratulations on the success. Hey, by the way, man, I'm reaching out because, hey, if you are open to getting, at least an extra 500, 600 appointments a month for your sales team, I don't even know if you can handle that. But if you're open and you can handle that and that will get you a good ROI, I'd love to chat. Just go ahead and reply back to this message. In the Loom, I'm going to record that, and then it's going to give me a link where I can send that to them. Where am I going to send that to them? I'm going to send that to them on Facebook if I can, on Instagram, very, very easy. I'm going to send that to them on LinkedIn. I'm going to send them an email. I mean, you could even do an SMS. I know you're not supposed to do SMS if they haven't opted in. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm saying you can do that as well. The whole idea is you want to hit them from several different angles. This is very, very, very targeted. And when on the Loom, make sure to put in the title their name, because that will actually show up in the description when the little preview shows up. So very, very good there. Very, very powerful. Now let's switch over to bulk. Okay, so what you're gonna do with bulk is you're actually going to do the same personas. You're gonna do the same emotional questions, but you're gonna remove some personalization. Like, I can't send a video to every individual person and say, hey Jim, or hey Bob. It's gotta be more, hey, what's going on? This is Tim. I was checking out your LinkedIn profile, was super, super curious about if you'd be open to taking on, 200, 300, 400 more meetings a month. Now, you can send that to them through Instagram. You can send that to them through LinkedIn. But if you want to do it in a bulk setting, I would generally do like a LinkedIn, an email, or a phone call. Those are the three that I would do kind of on a bulk setting. That's it. Simple. Whether you're doing $5,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $500,000 a month, or $5 million a month, or you want to get to those points, I put an ebook and more resources, a couple resources in the description below. So whether you're a solo salesperson, you're a solo business owner, or you have an entire big sales team that you're looking to scale up, or any of the personas that I have in between, I have a resource for you down in the description. So make sure to click on that. Also, make sure to like, make sure to comment. I will engage with every comment that I get below. Make sure to subscribe and then hit that bell so that every time I drop a new one, you're the first to get it. Again, this is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show, and I'll see you soon.